Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 17th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. A few things here to update, and we should be good to go. It's good. One last thing, and we are good to go. So I'm going to get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out. Is sent out as well. All right, looks like we are good to go. So I'm gonna start marking up liquidity over here, going up to the daily time frame, down to the 8 hour, down to the 4 hour, down to the 1 hour, down to the 30 minute, down to the 15, down to the 10 minute, and back down to the 1 minute. Looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 17th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open up in about 6 minutes. I'll post up the direction of the breakout in about 5 minutes from now. But looking at current price right now, I've marked up liquidity over here. So current liquidity above is at 43,460. Price is pretty close to it, so this might get hit pre-market. Next level above that's at 43,474. Closest level of liquidity below is at 43,386, and the level below that is at 43,357. So we got liquidity on both sides. The ATR is extremely low right now. It's currently at 10 ATR. So we'll see what happens as we get closer to market open. We had some news this morning over here at 5:30. It was high impact. You guys can see the crazy candle right there at 5:30. Huge spike on both ends. Let me check the calendar for today if there's anything else to look out for. So looking at the calendar for today, we got some more news over here at 7 o'clock. We got NAHB Housing Market Index at 7 o'clock, business inventories, and then gas stock change at 7:30. So we got two more news events coming up 7 o'clock, 7:30. And that's about it for today. So we'll see what happens if that becomes a catalyst for today's market. No telling what will happen from here until then. So, all right, guys, looks like majority of you guys are here so far. Morning, Adam. Morning, Maria. Morning, CJ. Morning, Sam. Yeah, Sam said it's close to the all-time high. I agree. So we'll we'll see how that affects the market today. I think this might be it, right? Or basically close to it. Past this liquidity here. I didn't see any higher levels of liquidity, so I'm assuming this is probably where it's at. Yeah, so this liquidity right here is going to be the all-time high, guys. And then we'll see where that takes us. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 17th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes, so I'll give you guys the direction of the breakout. I'll be posting it in the Zoom chat in about 2 minutes. So we'll see where that ends up going. And we'll take it from there. So again, like I said, the volatility is very low right now. Usually it's like at least around 15. It's at 11 right now, so it's super flat. Price hasn't really moved too much since the crazy spike here at 5:30 for the news. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Not really too much to look for here right now, so let's see, we got about another minute. So in about a minute, I'll post the direction of the breakout for today, guys. So this liquidity is getting hit right here pre-market, like we discussed. See what goes on right here. All right, this candle's got about 20 seconds left on it. All right, guys. Direction for the breakout is posted in the Zoom chat. So if you guys are in the Zoom chat, check out the chat if you're looking to take the breakout. Yeah, we'll see. Again, I don't like how the candle moves like this right before open. You guys remember we talked about this yesterday. We'll see how this plays through. I'm still gonna have to take it as is because this is just how it's just how the strategy works, right? So we got market opening up in about 30 seconds. See what happens here shortly. We got market opening up in about 20 seconds. Direction of the breakout is posted in the Zoom chat. We got market open in 10 seconds. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So I got
Order filled.
OCB. Right here. Let's see. Profits at 15. Let's see. All right, so we'll come back to this in a few. Let's see, we got liquidity above that got hit already. So like I said yesterday, it's kind of a tricky move when the price is kind of spiking around on the candle right before open. Same situation as yesterday, what we talked about. Looking at this right here, we currently hit the first 2 levels of liquidity. So first level of liquidity right here got hit. Second level of liquidity right here also got hit. So if you guys took either of these levels of liquidity, those are pretty much done with. So I'm gonna put an alert over here, just so I can come back to that later if necessary. All right, so the breakout's back in profit right now. These 2 levels of liquidity right here got hit. So if you guys took either level right here, full TPs on both of these levels of liquidity right here. So two entries right there that hit for liquidity. There's no more liquidity above because we're currently at the all-time high, I believe. So we are at the all-time high. We'll see if the all-time high keeps climbing. You guys are looking to take some market flow V2s. Looks like one of them just came up right here. It was on the opening candle, so you probably have to wait for the next one. So for market flow V2s, you're looking for price to kind of retrace back, shoot back up higher, and climb up from there. Level for entry right here for the market flow V2 would be at the 490 mark. If anybody's looking to take a 10-point move. I'm going to move this to the top. There we go. Get that out of the way. All right, so not too much movement here. The volatility is like decent. It's currently at 32 points. ATR is currently at 32 right there. So price is kind of just sitting right there right now. I'll mark opening price, which was this red candle. There's just not very much direction. It's the same thing that's happened pretty much all week this week. Price just tends to kind of just sit where it's currently at. Not really too much direction here. Price is just down the middle. So if you want to look for those market flow V2s, I probably would hold off and just wait until the market here kind of stabilizes or identifies a direction. But if you are looking to take it, it's going to be right there at the 490 mark. Just a heads up for those of you who are looking to take it there. I'll mark up some structure here. So we got structure right here, structure up here, and obviously structure down the middle. So there's not really too much here going on, as you guys can see. Price is kind of just sitting around this middle area. It's literally what happened yesterday. Price would climb above, come back into the range. Price would climb below, come back into the range. There's just not really too much direction here with regard to price. So let's see. Looks like the market flow over here got filled and it hit TP. So if you guys took that market flow that I marked up for you guys right there, that was at the 490 mark. Price came down, filled it, shot right back up, hit its TP. So now if you guys are looking for another entry, you have to wait for the market here to kind of push back up. So you need price to push back up a little bit, come back down, shoot right back up. So first entry for market flow over here hit full TP. So for today, we had two liquidities that hit, one pre-market, one on open, both hit full TP. And then we had a market flow V2 that just came up right here as well that hit full TP as well. So a couple entries like that right there. Personally, I would like to push towards the all-time high. So I'm hopeful that this will like swing back up because I think the all-time high will probably keep climbing, of course. Check CNBC real quick. Any breaking news? I mean, not really. So there's breaking news right here. China property stocks dropped nearly 8% after housing ministry briefing. Most Asia Pacific markets decline. All right, so that's the only breaking news for right now. Let's see this real quick. Stock news for the day. Stocks rise as chip makers rally. Economic data is better than expected. So this isn't really beneficial for us. Whenever CNBC reports in our direction, really don't like that for the most part because it tends to create manipulation in the market. So they pretty much reported this about 4 minutes ago, which was basically on open. So that probably explains the drop to the downside, and then hopefully a recovery back to the upside. So we'll see what happens right here. My stop is right there, guys. So if the price comes down to this area, I'm gonna get stopped out off the breakout. Stopped out. So this week's a toss-up. Unfortunately, this
So,
week was a break-even week for us here for the breakout. So we had we had two wins on Monday, Tuesday, and then we had a loss Wednesday, and then again today. So break-even week for us. I'm not taking the next trade tomorrow. It's just the market. There's no direction here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this here ends up swinging right back up from where it's currently at. But we've had a break-even week for the breakout this week, so it's all good. That's kind of how the market is sometimes. And I'll mark this up. So let me go and mark this up real quick. So tomorrow I'll mark up the breakout, but I'm not going to take it. We are at break even for this week. I'll keep looking for some more market flow V2s here, but for the most part, I'm pretty much done trading for the week, unfortunately. It's just one of those weeks. So let's go over here real quick. All right, so stats for the week are pretty much flat. So here are the stats for the week. On Monday, we took the breakout. It was a full TP. Tuesday, we took the breakout, full TP. Wednesday, took the breakout yesterday. Went straight to stop loss. And then for today, kind of sat down the middle a little bit and then swung down to the bottom right here. There just wasn't much direction. So Monday, Tuesday, the direction was good. You can see over here, it spiked directly to where it needed to go. Today and yesterday, it just kind of went sideways. So yesterday went sideways for a while. And then today kind of sat down the middle for a while and then ended up coming down. And then I wouldn't be surprised if this here ends up coming all the way back up, right back to opening price. So that's that for the breakout. We'll keep looking for some market flow V2s here. Stats for the month are still good though. So let me see if I can get the stats for the month real quick. Over here. So we're still net positive for the month. It's just for this week, we're at break even. All right. Here are the stats for the month so far for the breakout. So the stats are not that bad. So we've had for this month of October so far 8 wins, 4 losses. We're currently at a 66.7% win rate. That's pretty much where we're aiming to be long term. So this is like a long term win rate right here, about 67 to like 70. Maybe higher in some instances. So we have a total profit of 10,515 for the month, total loss of 6,330 for the month, 8 wins, 4 losses, total trades of 12 trades, win-loss ratio of 67%, commissions of 102, total P&L is currently 4,082. So for the month of October, we're still in profit, 4,082 in profit. Doing the basic math on that, I have 29 accounts here. So 4,800 or 4,082 times 29. Profits are still good. So long-term profits right here across all the accounts are good. It's just a matter of pretty much just waiting until the month ends, basically. So the stats for the month are pretty solid. It's just seeing, you can see our prices coming back up. It's just we're in one of those weeks where price is just kind of going back and forth. So we're at a break-even week. And, we just got caught here in the fake out and then price is coming all the way back up now. So I just got to stick to the game plan. The game plan is to take the entry pretty much whenever I can take it. Now that we've had 2 back-to-back losses, I'm not trading on Friday. I'll identify the entry if you guys want to take it, but I'm not going to take it on Friday. I'll be waiting until Monday to take my next entry. The reason for that risk plan is that what it does is it pretty much balances out the losses. So for me to just stop trading when we have 2 losses like that, that just indicates that the market's not doing what we need to for the week. And you can see here it's pretty obvious. Price is not really going directional. It's just going back and forth. So we need a market that moves directional. We need market to be moving directional to the upside, or we need market to be moving directional to the downside. We had two good wins on Monday, Tuesday, which were moving directional. Then Wednesday, Thursday, yesterday, and today, we have this back and forth movement. So looking at the clean chart over here, you guys can see there's not really too much going on. Price pretty much pushes out, comes back down, and then it comes back down to the middle right here. This is really where market sits. Um, so I'm just going to stick to the game plan. I'm going to also note that we had this big push right here. Um, for the screenshot, I'm going to put that on the 1 minute, not 3 minute, because I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see like that big candle that came up right before open. And we talked about this yesterday. I said I don't like when the candle moves like that right before open, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened yesterday. I just need to see how far did it actually move this time. So- All right, so let me measure that real quick. 629 candle right here. Yeah, this thing moved way too heavy. So you can see right here, it moved up like almost 50 points. Um, I think that's going to be the threshold for it. That is going to be a threshold for it. Um, I don't know. We'll keep documenting it and see if it becomes an issue. I'm hoping this is like a thing that doesn't happen very often. Like it's an outlier. It happens like maybe once a month or once every couple months. If it starts to happen more often, then we'll have to pay attention to it. But for the most part, I think we're just gonna have to take the entries as they are and then take note of that big spike. So I'm gonna put the same note over here. And what I'm doing here is I'm just documenting the data because the data here is going to help us in the future when we need to make adjustments to the strategy. But it's all right. I'm fine with the break even for this week. I'd rather be at break even than at loss. Overall net profits are still good, so it's not really a big deal. All right, so price here is coming right back up, just like we talked about. So, like I said, this here was just a huge manipulated push, and then it came all the way back up to where it needs to go. So it's kind of annoying that that happened, but we are at the all-time high. I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen because we were at the all-time high right here. So I was figured, okay, they're going to come down and stop everybody out who's chasing the all-time high and then come right back up to where it needs to go. Right. Because I think it's going to keep pushing up. I don't think price is going to come down. It's currently October 17th, so we're getting closer and closer to November. As we get closer to November, there's this thing called the Santa rally, if you guys are familiar with that. We talk about this almost every year. Towards the end of the year, market's just bullish. They tend to shake people out on the way up, but as we get closer to the holidays, price just starts to be bullish straight through. So we'll see. Um, we'll see where this ends up going. But yeah, price is not really doing too much here. If you're looking to take a market flow V2, entry is going to happen right here at the 470 mark. I would only go for the smaller moves right now, guys. I don't think the big 60-30 is really the good idea because there's not really much of a direction here. Again, if you guys want to enter this trade, it's going to be right here at the 470 mark. So 470 mark right here is where the entry would happen for the market flow V2. I'm not in this position. I'm only taking the breakouts, but I'll mark up these market flows for you guys. We had one market flow hit earlier. This is the second one that's currently running. And I'm also going to, and full TP right there. So second market flow right there, full TP. So two of them hit for today already so far. We had the one that was here earlier. We had another one right here. If you guys want to take another one, you got to wait for this to push up a little bit and then look for that retracement back down. All right. Laptop is closed for the day. Here, let's scroll up real quick. Yeah, Stanley said hopefully the liquidity down below doesn't take us out. Wouldn't they want to grab liquidity before passing all-time high? Honestly, about selling because that liquidity below, but wanted to stay consistent for the strategy. Yeah, no, same here, Stanley. I was actually planning on taking a sell here because my analysis over here with the market structure was for a sell anyways. But I had to follow the strategy. The strategy was for a buy, so I had to take the buy. But we had the Asia range right here, London session bullish manipulation, and I was expecting price to come up and then reverse down. I mean, it wasn't a hard reversal, but it did come down hard to like pretty much wipe out whoever was taking buys right here, and then it came right back up. Long-term direction, I do expect it to be bullish, but it didn't actually come down and hit the liquidity down there, Stanley. There's still a lot of liquidity right here, so it didn't come down that far. It just came down for a sharp manipulation right here, and then it just ended up coming right back up. I don't even think this will push up higher. I think price will just stay where it's at until probably tomorrow. So I don't think there's going to be much direction here, guys. I think this is going to be similar to yesterday's market. It's just going to keep going back and forth between this middle area right here. I think more direction will come out tomorrow, but I think for today, it's kind of just going to sit down the middle. Ideally, I was looking for the sell as well, but the strategy didn't call for a sell, so I had to take the buy. Let's see, Samson went to 80. If we go in 3 minutes prior, it was 97. Entered on the prior opening minute. Yeah, I know. So yes, Sam, if and the thing is if we didn't have that big push right there, like we talked about earlier, this push is really what kind of screwed our entry because it happens like right before the open. If we were to take an entry like that right there, so for example, the 629 candle, I mean it still wouldn't have hit, but we'd still be in the position. So like if this didn't happen right before, our entry wouldn't happen way up here, right? We'd still be in the position. This doesn't happen all the time though. So that's the problem with that big push, like right before market opens, is that it kind of screws up the market because like if this didn't happen here and it was a regular candle, we would still be in the position, like Sam said, we'd be like right here down the middle right now, and we'd be holding on to it in profit. So it's just something we have to document. Again, unless our win rate starts to drop like a lot, like I think right now it's fine. A break-even week is pretty normal. For this breakout strategy, the the net win ratio is technically supposed to be like 1 or 2 net wins. So for this week, we're at break even. That's pretty much normal. If we start to have negative weeks, then that's where it starts to become a problem, right? If we have negative weeks, then I'm like, okay, we have to probably flip something because something here is not working. But as of now, I think we just have to keep it as is because the win rate's fine. Right now, the current win rate for October is 67%. That's actually a really good win rate for a month. It's been 17 days this month, so we're halfway through the month, and that win rate's pretty solid for a one-to-one breakout strategy. So I'll keep it as is, but obviously we'll obviously play by ear, and if we need to make some adjustments, we will. So here's Sam's profit so far. Sam locked in. I'll just save it real quick. Save and put into the Discord. All right, so here's Sam's profit so far. Sam locked in 509 on his first account, 509 on his second account, and 489 on his third account. Nice work, Sam. Yeah, it looks like Sam actually entered prior, which is kind of smart because he already knew the entry was for a buy, so he just got in when it started pushing up. So he got in for basically a discount. So nice work right there, Sam, catching that entry right when it pushed up. And then he also closed out early when it pushed up, basically midway point. All right, guys, there's no entries here right now. Again, price is just going sideways. So this is not the good market to trade in. If you guys want to keep trading, I mean, feel free to trade. I'll mark up some entries if they do come up, but I personally wouldn't really risk too much in a market like this because it's not really moving directional at all. So I'm looking basically for a buy signal here. Once I get that buy signal, I'll look for price to push up, retrace, continue up higher from there. All right, so we'll keep looking for entries here, guys. Again, there's no entries until a buy signal comes up. We have news over here at 7 o'clock, which is medium impact. The news at 7 o'clock is going to be for the NHB Housing Market Index and the business inventories. So I'm hoping we get a buy signal by then. If we don't get a buy signal by then you might have to be a little careful with these market flow V2s because once 7 o'clock hits, tends to go a little more sideways. I mean, it's pretty sideways as is right now. So realistically, if you want to take a market flow V2, you need price to really climb up, retrace, climb up, retrace. It's kind of weird closing out my week early like this because this is what happened last week too. Um, yeah, I'm just not used to like not trading for a day. But I mean, it's beneficial because this is what happened last week. And last week I avoided like basically extra losses. I avoided two losses actually last week because I stopped trading on a Wednesday, which is super early. But I kind of like it because like looking over here at the stats. So again, looking at the stats for the month so far, I don't mind having these types of stats versus having like the more volatile stats, right? So if you guys have been trading with me for a while, you guys have seen like we've had when I would take the regular scalps, the P&L was pretty volatile. The win rate was super high. It was like 70 to like 90% win rate. But we would have a lot of little wins and then we'd have one big loss, which would like kind of set us back and we'd have to like claw our way back into the market. The profit is a lot less, but I feel less stress trading this way with just a breakout. Because it's just one trade, and then if the risk plan gets triggered, then I just stop trading for the week, which kind of puts me at ease for these sessions. I just got to get used to it. I'm not used to just taking one trade a day and then kind of closing my laptop because my laptop's closed now. I can't even force a trade if I wanted to. I shut it down for the week. So we'll see. But again, this is going to be my plan from now until the end of the year, guys. So from now until basically New Year's, I'll be taking just the breakout. I kind of want to see the proof of concept on my actual live accounts. Like right now, the profits are really good. So like having this much net profit halfway through the month times, X amount of accounts, like this profit is good. I'm cool with having like pretty much consistent profits every single month. Because that's pretty much what a lot of these companies are looking for, right? If you guys are trading with a lot of these prop firms, that is what they're looking for. I don't know if any of you guys have been following Fast Track. There's like their chat's been going crazy because they just released a bunch of new rules. They're not really new rules. It's just so right here on their Discord, they put effective immediately. It says so basically for your second payout, the trader has to have at least the same amount as their previous payout, which I mean, you should be consistent. If you're consistent, like for example, if you're trading the breakout strategy, you'll have a consistent profit, right? Your profits are going to be consistent throughout the month. So like for example, here they added the consistency now where you have to have like basically the same amount, and people are going crazy because everybody like flips their accounts on these prop firms, right? They have like a flipping rule now. So you can't like flip your accounts. Like there's another rule here. It says flipping rule. Basically, any current payouts prior to the announcement that involve more than 5 flipping days will be denied. So the thing with a lot of these prop firms is that they're starting to catch on to like what people are doing, right? A lot of people are just flipping accounts, which is okay, but it's not really trading. You're kind of just gambling. It's kind of like what I told you guys about with the news trading, right? When news comes out, you have like a 50-50 chance of price going up or price going down. So a lot of people will just flip their accounts during these news events. Um, the thing is like with these prop firms, they can fix that by just not allowing news trading, but they are allowing news trading because they want people to blow their accounts. The problem is some people get lucky. So when people do get lucky news trading, they end up making a ton of profit. So these prop firms are like they're kind of greedy in a sense because they want to allow people to trade news, but they don't want people to make profit trading news. They want people to blow accounts trading news, so they have to keep buying accounts. But when people win trading news, um, then they don't want to pay him out, right? It's just a racket, of course, like we talked about yesterday. So yeah, the chat for I don't know if their chat's still open. Yeah, so their chat's open. There's like 1,000 messages here from last night up until now. Everyone's going crazy about fast track. But if you guys are consistent traders, it shouldn't be a problem for you guys, right? Like if you're trading just to breakout with me, you'll be consistent. So you might have break-even weeks, you might have profitable weeks, you might have losing weeks, but for the most part, it's gonna have a net gain of profit long term. So just keep that in mind. And then also we're only taking like one trade. So like you guys can see over here my commissions now. My commissions are only at 102. If you guys saw when I was taking like, 100 trades per month, my commissions were like over 1,000. It was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It would eat up into all my profits. So I would make like maybe, like 4,000 for the month net overall. So like, for example, right here, I made 4,000 for the month so far, right? But my net commissions are only 102. When I was taking like 100 trades, my net commissions would be like almost 2,000 and I'd make like 4,000 profit. So then I lose 2,000 because I got to pay commissions. And then I end up with like less than I would have if I just take the breakout. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Also, with the win rate, there's going to be times where the win rate is like very consistent. So like right now, it's not very consistent because we're going through like this choppy market. But once the market starts to go directional, there will be weeks where we have like 4 back-to-back wins, right? Or 5 back-to-back wins. When you have 4 or 5 back-to-back wins like that, it's going to propel your account even higher. So it's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of just kind of it's a matter of keeping consistent. Mal's asking, which strategy will you trade when you start Kodi Kai Capital? It's most likely going to be a breakout strategy. Might not be this one. It'll be one of the breakout strategies. Because this is the most consistent and it's the most reliable, right? It's not super volatile like if I'm taking the regular scalps. The thing I thought about taking the regular scalps, but it's just going to be like if I'm copying 100 accounts or like more than 100 accounts, it's going to be really hard because there's going to be a ton of slippage across those accounts if I'm taking these smaller scalps. For you guys can take the smaller scalps. Like you can make a lot more money trading smaller scalps, but if I'm trading like 100 accounts, like my copier is going to have issues from time to time, and I'm not going to be able to like fix those issues if like I have like hundreds of accounts copying these small 10-point moves. So I'm going to be using a breakout strategy. It might be this one, it might be a different one. It's going to be one of like the main ones that we use. So it's either going to be like the original breakout, the breakout V3, breakout V2, this breakout on open. There's a lot of different breakout strategies. They all work very well, but I need something that has a bigger TP stop loss like we currently have with 100 point, because that's going to give it some leeway if there is some slippage. And then if I need to close them out manually, I can manually close them out and not have issues with that. See, Samson in 22 days, 66% is still way up for a 5-minute trade. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%, Sam. Like taking a breakout and then having like a 66 to 67% win rate over a month's time. It's been 17 days so far for October. So like being able to keep that consistency for this long is pretty remarkable, I think, for a one-to-one strategy. Because usually one-to-one strategies will have like closer to a 50% win rate. And the thing is, I have the data from 2 years ago, right? So I already have the data here, and it's about even. Like that's where it's at. Like if you do the data here, 94 divided by 151, it's about the same. It's just a little lower because it's like obviously doesn't count like 6 more months. So we'd probably add like another 5 or 8 points to this, closer to 70%. So it's pretty much lining up with like what we expected for the strategy, which is good. It's just, when you go for these, when we have these entries that kind of shut us out early in the week, it kind of sucks because like, of course, I'd like to trade tomorrow, but follow my risk plan, of course, I should not trade. And then understanding, and there's news right here, guys. So the news happened right here at 7 o'clock. I'll check the news real quick. The news was positive. So news at 7 o'clock right here, NAHB Housing Market Index, retail inventories, business inventories, all positive. Price obviously got manipulated a little bit, came up slightly, came down to stop people out. and then it'll probably correct back up. But looking at the bigger picture here, there's not really much to work with, guys. So it wouldn't really matter if you're looking to take entries here or not, because there's nothing for you guys to trade anyways. There's just sideways move. Yeah, so you guys can see right here, there's not really too much going on. It's really just going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, not much right now. All right, so with that said, um, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait. There's no direction here. In order for you guys to take some market flow V2s, we need price to climb up, retrace, climb up, retrace, climb up higher. But we don't have that yet. So until we have that type of direction, there's just no market flow V2s here to take, even for the sell side. In order for us to take some sells here, we need price to come down, retrace, come down, retrace, come down even further. But like I said, there's just nothing going on here right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for some possible opportunities here, but right now it's just not a time to be trading any directional strategies. If you're looking to take any entries here, I would probably just focus on some V1 variations. Also, like CJ mentioned, the high-low momentum as well. Those are two of the sideways strategies that we tend to apply. We usually apply those during the summer and during the winter when the market's going sideways. We're currently in the fall, so it should be going sideways like this. But again, it's just really up to your guys' preference. But I mean, realistically, there's just nothing going on right here. So I think what I'm going to do here is while this continues to go sideways like this, I will update the spreadsheet. Max is asking, yeah, so Max is asking, does anyone know if the $85 lifetime fee for the PA is still running? Yes. So it's still running until either the 23rd or the 26th. I can confirm for you. Let me confirm real quick. I'm still friends with the admins for Apex, so I know. It's the 23rd. Okay, Max, it's still 23rd. Yeah, so if you guys want to use my Apex code, the Apex code still works. That's the admin code. So you'll get like the highest discount and then, I mean, whatever types of promos they got going on. It's going to expire on the 23rd. So they brought back the 80% discount on Apex, guys. So if you guys want to open more accounts, they're still at 80%. The promo ends on the 23rd though. So just to keep that in mind. So basically next week. It'll end. We'll probably lower the discount, but that's what it is right there. Nikki's asking, would you recommend 1030 for the V1s? Yeah. So I'd recommend either 1030 for the V1s or 1530. It's really up to your preference, but obviously if you want to get in and out very quickly, I would just go with the 10 points. Ideally, like this type of market, you want to get in and out very quickly, right? Because you don't want to get caught in the chop here. You just want to get in at the bottom. So like whenever price hits the bottom, you want to get in and out. And then same with the opposite direction, right? When price pushes up, you want to get out before you get caught in the chop. So you get in, get out quick. Because once you get stuck in the chop, like down the middle, that's where you kind of get screwed. Because price might just chop around here for a bit, and then it could really go either direction. So. All right, there's nothing going on here. Price is still kind of just going sideways. If we have some opportunities here, guys, I'll let you know, but there's just no direction here. Price is going back and forth. If you guys want to take market flow V2s, I mean, feel free. It's really up to you guys if you want to take them. We currently have a sell signal right here. So if price continues to climb down, retrace up, you can look for some market flow V2s. I don't really recommend trading in this type of market where there's just no direction. Let's go to our SR chart. Okay, so looking at the SR chart for the day right here, Mark up some zones. I'm gonna go on the higher time frame. And that's kind of pointless. Yeah, it's kind of pointless. Take a here on the one. It's gonna be hard to find zones here because price is currently at the it's currently at the all-time high. All right, so this is kind of where price is ranging from right now. This is our SR chart. You guys can see here a lot clearer that there's like really nothing going on down here. Price just sitting between these two zones. That's what I'm saying. There's no reason to take any trades here. If you guys want to take trades, feel free to take them, but I would probably just sit out and wait until some sort of direction breaks out, until it breaks out below here, or until, it breaks above here. Otherwise, you're really taking a big risk because you might just get caught in the fake out. So what I look out for here is I look for the double body rejection. I look for it to swing back into the range. Ideally, I would take trades that pull back into the range versus trades that are pulling outside. Because whenever price pulls out, it's likely going to be a fake out. Like for example, right here, obviously a fake out, right? So that's what I would look for. So I look for price to kind of go out towards the support level, reverse, come back into the range, or vice versa, price push up, reverse back into the range. Because that's pretty much where price looks like it's going to sit for the rest of the session. All right, there's not too much going on here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to update the spreadsheet. Update the spreadsheet with this month's entries. I like to have it pretty much in order to break out 10, 14, 24. Oh. See, the one for the next day was same thing. And then obviously yesterday was a loss. Today's well. Today was for a buy loss. And I'll put the notes over here as well, so that we know what was going on that day. All right, so here are the current stats for October. Not too bad. So you can see over here for October so far, we're currently at, so we took 3 buy trades, 10 sell trades, 7 wins, 4 losses, total profit of 300 points for the month so far, and a total of 11 trades. Win-loss ratio of 63.6%, basically 64%. So the win-loss ratio right now is actually pretty good. It is pretty good for the month so far. So we'll come back and hopefully on Monday it'll balance out. But yeah, looking at this so far, so if we look at the stats right now for October, the first week of October was really good, right? We had basically one, two, three, four. We had a five back-to-back win rate right here. So we had five back-to-back winning trades first week of October. Then the second week we had two losses. Then we stopped trading right here for the 10th, 11th. This week we had two wins starting off the week. And then we had two losses Wednesday, Thursday, which brought us to break even. So tomorrow is going to be a neutral day where there's no trades. Um, and then hopefully like by the end of like this week and next week, we'll have like another, I'm looking for another streak like this, another 5 win streak, because once we have that 5 win streak, it's going to make a big difference in the, uh, in the profits, of course. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. So I'm looking at this from a long-term perspective, guys. There's no need to like kind of get too stuck on like 1 week. I'm looking at it from a monthly perspective. So first week of October is great. Second week was not so great. This week is pretty neutral, break even. And then hopefully the next week, let me see how many more weeks of October do we have left. So we have 2 more weeks of October left. So hopefully next week we'll have a win streak. I'm expecting a win streak to happen either next week or the following week. So I really just gotta hold it. We just gotta hold tight until that happens. It's really just treading water. So like I always told you guys like during the summer, it's like we're kind of just treading water, right? If you guys know how to swim, think about yourself being like pushed in like a sea of water, right? And you need to get to shore. So if you think about that, you're like right in the middle of the water. Just think about every time you get a win, you get pushed closer to shore. Every time you have a loss, you get pushed deeper into the water. So if you just tread water, basically, like for this month, we're treading water, we're getting closer and closer to shore, which is our goal, right? By the end of the month, we have 2 more weeks in October left. So hopefully by next week we have a win streak, we get push closer to shore, and then like towards the last week, we have those last winning trades, and then they pretty much push us to shore, and we close this week in profit. So that's kind of what it is. Like every month, I'm looking to tread water. Obviously, the beginning of the month is a little harder because you can either end up with a couple losses or a couple wins. But then once you have a pretty good consistency, you can start to trust the strategy, not really have to worry about much. But we'll make some adjustments along the way, of course, especially with this opening candle. That tends to happen more often. But I'm hoping after this week, it just stops happening. So, all right, guys, there's still nothing going on here. Price is still right down the middle. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, there's no entries here to take because price is literally going sideways right here down the middle. There's no need to force any trades here right now. This price continues to just consolidate sideways right here. Ah, man, it's a frustrating market. At least the good thing with this is that we understand that the market's not really moving in our favor. And I can prevent myself from taking any unnecessary risk tomorrow. So I think that's the best part about the risk plan because I'm able to cut off my losses pretty easily, especially that we're back at break even. I'd rather have this at a break even week than to have, because tomorrow's going to be a toss up, right? Tomorrow it's either going to win or it's going to lose. So tomorrow, if it wins, it's going to, obviously bring profit back into positive, or if it loses tomorrow, it's going to bring you into negative for the week. So for me personally, I'd just sit out of the market, take my break even for this week, and then start next week fresh. But it's obviously it's gonna be a learning curve for us here. So I'm not used to like having break even weeks like this. All right, let's see. See if there's anything else here that I need to cover. All right. So still nothing here. See if there's any other catalysts here that can push price around. Probably not. The gas stock change is not going to do anything at 7:30. Check CNBC, any update with the news, stock market updates. Nvidia hits record high. Yeah, there's nothing here. Hmm. Biden administration forgives 4.5 billion in student debt for over 60,000 public service workers. See, the thing with this, if you guys have been following you're gonna see a lot of campaign news. Like the thing with the Biden administration is that this was already in place. Like this has been in place for like years, and they're just holding on to the money so that they can do it at the end of the year, which I think is like super annoying. Um, I know of this plan because I was part of this plan when I first finished law school. I was going to be like a public defender or a prosecutor. And you basically have to work like 10 years in public service to get your debt uh, pretty much removed. The thing is, this program has been going on for like years. And then just because we're getting close to elections, they say that the Biden administration is forgave. But they were supposed to forgive that stuff a long time ago. You'll see a lot of that stuff going on. I'm hoping there's going to be more presidential election stuff coming out because that's going to, it's obviously going to shake up the market, right? It's going to shake up the market, which is what we need. We need some volatility in the market because obviously this is not what we want. We don't want price to be going back and forth like this. Like this is definitely not the type of market that we want to be trading in, especially not in the middle of October. Like we're in the middle of fall right now. This is prime time. This is where price is supposed to be moving directional to the downside or move directional to the upside. The market's kind of just flat right now. Like honestly, I kind of feel like I need Trump to say something crazy. If you guys traded during Trump's presidency, like the market was all over the place, but it was all over the place in a good way. It was it was like anything Trump did or anything he said, and this isn't to glorify Trump, it's just him as a president was just it was good for the markets. So it's been a slow market for the most part. CJ is asking if it wins tomorrow, will we sit out Monday? No. So Monday's a new week, CJ. So we always take a trade on Monday. Like I said for the stats over here, it's segregated by week. So like over here it says weekly segregated back-to-back losses. So like basically everything is separated by a week. So if we have a back-to-back loss on say well, like this week, right? For example, if you have a back-to-back loss Wednesday, Thursday, then we don't take the trade Friday. And then it doesn't matter whether it wins or loses. Another example is if the trade loses back-to-back on Thursday, Friday, it doesn't make a difference because Monday's a new week. So we take the trade. Basically, every Monday we take a trade. So what you want to do is you want to block out each week. So whatever the risk plan will get triggered on, like say earlier in the week, then we stop trading for that week. If it gets triggered later in the week, then we just stop trading for that week. But then the next week is like a brand new week. So no matter what, we're always going to take the breakout on Monday. Because what tends to happen is these market conditions are based off like a weekly cycle, right? And you can see it from the stats too. Like for the stats over here, go over here. So like the stats for October, right? Like this was a weekly cycle right here. This cycle was a nice back-to-back win, 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 win. And then last week we had it was a one net loss week. And then for this week it was different. It was a break-even week. So every week is like slightly different. It's like you can expect one week to be a break-even week. You can expect one week to be a really good week. You can expect one week to be a net loss week. You can expect one week to be a two net loss week. If it ends up having a break, if you end up having like two losses earlier in the week and then it just ends up being a straight loss, like that's how you can segregate it. Like, and that's what I like about the strategy too, is that you can pretty much plan for it, right? Like you can put like October week one, uh, win streak, October week two, one net loss, week, October week three, right? This is this week, break even week. So like October week four, and then October week five, you kind of anticipate what's going to happen next, right? Not that you're going to use that to avoid any trades, but you can kind of expect that. You can see every week is like slightly different. And that's why we segregate it by week, because every week's pretty much a new week for us. So these are pretty much the stats for these are the stats for this month so far. Win streak October week one net loss, break even week. And then I'm hoping there to be another win streak to follow through. I don't have enough data for a whole month from our stats over here, so I can't really tell if there's a, yeah, you can't really tell because like pretty much all the stats here that we have, they're like cut off by, or actually no, you can see over here from March, or sort of no, it cuts off halfway through the month, which is super annoying. Yeah, it cuts off halfway through the month. So we only have like a half month's data here. That's why I'm like really trying to stay keen to like October so that we can have a full month's data. But you can see over here from March, like March for week one, win streak. Actually, this is cool. So you can see over here, March week, one win streak, one loss for the second week. And then the third week of March, another win streak. So you can see there's 2 weeks where they have win streaks. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. I'm hoping that we had a win streak, one net loss, break even, and the next week is going to be another win streak. Because that'll propel us back up into like higher levels of profit. So yeah, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. You guys can see here from the chart, there's like literally nothing going on. So I think we might have to wrap this up a little earlier today than usual. There's just not too much. There's just not too much here to I'm really pulled from the chart. Let's see. Kenny's asking, could you just back test the missing days on a higher time frame? Possibly like the more recent days. So I can probably do that. That's actually a good idea, Kenny. I can probably do that for like say maybe September. The only problem is that so the closer months in the summer is that we have like a choppy market. So it doesn't necessarily go straight to profit. Like sometimes it's kind of tough when you go on like say the 1 hour, right? Because the 1 hour it'll show that it either when like sometimes it'll show like a huge candle that goes in both directions. Like it'll show a huge candle, but it like goes both ways. So you can't tell if it hits TP or stop loss first. So that's actually a good idea. I'll probably go back and see if I can go back to like maybe September and pull the data, like maybe go on like a 2 minute time frame or something like that. And then I'll see. I think we should or might have September data here though. Oh yeah, for the most part, we pretty much have the September data right here. So I think yeah, we for the most part documented most of September. So September over here. So this over here was a break-even week for the first week of September. And the second week of September, it was straight wins, win streak. Then for the third week of September, also had a win streak right there. And then for the third week of September, we had it was a net positive. So September was actually a really good month. I wish we had the data like if I wish I had like the actual like the data like this to show for for September, but we weren't taking every trade during September. I mean, we should have taken the trades during September, but September looks like it was a great month. We had a pretty nice win streak. Yeah, break even the first week, so that was toss up, but then the next week was 5 back-to-back wins. And then the following week, there was 3 net wins, so that's 8 wins. And then 1 net win on the last week, so that's 9 wins there. That's a lot of profit. Yeah. So in September, we actually had a lot of profit. We didn't take every trade during that month because I was still putting the strategy together. But yeah, it was a pretty good month. So 13,500 per account for September. If I had 29 accounts at that time, that's almost 400,000 right there in profit. It's crazy. Yeah. So we actually do have a full month of data here for September, but that's the only month basically. It's actually pretty good. I like now that I've seen that, I'm a little bit more confident. That's kind of similar to what happened this month. So like this month we had a win streak the first week, 1 net loss last week, break even this week, and then I'm hoping we'll have a win streak again next week. I'm just waiting for one of those weeks where we have where all 5 days hit back to back, because that's yeah, that's a lot of profit for like 1 week. This was a big win streak right here, though. So this win streak right here was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this was 7 back-to-back wins. That's 10,500 profit per account, just straight down that week right there, or basically a week and a half. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see. Kenny said you could probably collect all the data that's missing from the past 2 years on the 10-minute chart. That's actually, yeah. We probably could like let's just take a quick peek at like how far back we can go. Because I'm pretty sure on the 10-minute you can go back pretty far. Oh, so that's where it becomes an issue, Kenny. Never mind, take that back. So we actually can't check it. I forgot. I already had this idea, but the reason why we can't check it is because we need the momentum on the 1 minute. So if we can't go back that far, I can't see where the direction of momentum is. It was a good idea though, Kenny. Yeah, I remember I tried to do that. When I first started doing the data, I tried to find ways to like kind of pull back a little bit. What I had to do is I had to go on the specific chart. So what I did here is I basically went to each chart and I just put in the year. And that's why these are all segregated. So it's like the December contract, March contract, June contract, September, etc. That's how I was able to go back to 2022. The only problem is that we need to have the momentum signal on the 1 minute. So yeah, that's why I couldn't do it. I tried that before though. But the momentum signals don't line up on the 10, unfortunately. Or no, I can't. Yeah, it wouldn't work. All right, here, let me try this real quick. So the entry for today was a buy. No, it's not going to work because it's going to line up with the 10-minute. Yeah, it wouldn't work. That's all good. It was worth a shot. Yeah, because we need the momentum on that 1 minute to determine like which direction we'd be taking the trade. It's okay. We'll forward test it. So we have September full data. We'll do October this month, and obviously November, December, and then from there we'll just keep forward testing it forward. The thing is that we already have a proof of concept, so we understand that the strategy works. It's now just actually applying it during real market conditions to identify if it can really hold up to what we've pulled from the data. So back to the charts, guys. There's nothing going on here. It's 7:30 right now, and I'm not really expecting much to happen from here until 8 o'clock. So I think we're going to be wrapping this up pretty soon, guys. If there's any more questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. CJ over here said, looks like the market flow V2 is hitting on the 1 hour chart. Yeah, the 1 hour chart. Let's see. Or actually, let's go back to the 1 minute or the main chart, actually. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys want to play around with this on different time frames, feel free to go around and play around with this on different time frames. Obviously, if you're going to be on the 1 hour chart, you just want to maybe adjust your. Actually, you don't even have to adjust it. You can slightly adjust it. Looks like. Yeah, you don't really have to adjust it very much because the volatility is super slow. But yeah, basically like what CJ said, if you want to apply these strategies on different time frames, I mean, feel free to do that. If you want to go on the 5 minute, say the 1 minute's too fast for you, you can do that as well, right? I mean, it works the same way. Like for example, the buy signal came up right here, your entry would happen right here. You just would have to adjust your TP stop loss and stuff like that. But looking at the market for today, if you guys are just getting into the chat or if you guys are just like haven't been looking at the charts, there's no direction today. Price has pretty much just been going down this middle area all throughout the session. This is exactly what happened yesterday. If you guys want to take any entries, what I would recommend looking for are V1 variations. So there's like two strategies that we typically apply during these sideways type markets. It's going to be the V1 variations, and it's also going to be the high-low momentum scalps, right? So you guys can see over here, for example, so there's a high-low momentum scalp coming up right here, right? There's a lower low buy signal coming up above that. This is perfect for this type of market because when the market goes back and forth like that, it makes it easy to take these trades right down the middle. So you'd look for high-low momentum scalps or you'd look for V1 variations. Just looking at the current chart right now, I don't even see any V1 variations that have come up aside from this one right here. So there's a V1 variation that came up right here, and that already has hit TP. That has already hit TP right there. Otherwise, there's not really much else here to work with. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up for the day. There's just no reason for us to force any trades here. I mean, obviously, you guys can see here, price is just going back and forth. So if you guys want to keep taking trades, I'd look for V1 variations or high-level momentum scalps. Otherwise, I would stay away from any of the directional entries for today, unless you start to see some directional moves. So if you start to see some market flow in this direction, then okay, start looking for some buys. And then vice versa, if you see some market flow in this direction, look for some sells. Otherwise, I don't think it's really worth it, the risk. I would just wrap it up for the day, guys. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we're going to close this out as a break-even week, unfortunately. Not a bad week, but it is break-even week. Basically, what I did is I tossed away my profits from Monday, Tuesday, but it's all part of the game. So we had a win. Going back to our stats for this week so far, guys, here's a spreadsheet with all the data. If you want to go back and look back at pretty much any of the entries for this week, you can see for the month of October, I'm only taking the momentum breakout, right? So you can see over here for this week, we had a win on Monday. We took a sell entry. It was a win, 100 points. If you guys want to take a look at what the trade looked like, the screenshot is right there. Looking back at it over here again. So we had a win on Monday, win on Tuesday, two back-to-back wins. Then we had a loss on a Wednesday, loss on Thursday today, two back-to-back losses. We're basically back to break even for this week. So tomorrow I'm going to identify the trade. I'm not going to take it. It's going to be blue like this because it's going to be one that I'm identifying but not taking. And then we'll start back fresh on Monday. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord. Yeah, CJ said I'm calling it a day. Market probably won't pick up until the Fed speaks anyways. Yeah, and I agree with you too, CJ. The Fed's going to speak later today, guys, if you guys are going to be waiting for that. Fed Goldsby is going to speak later at 8 o'clock, but I still don't think that's going to push price at all. It's going to be pretty much a sideways market all day today. So, All right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow as we wrap up this trading week.